Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Areopa. Great to see people joining in early today. We've got quite a few people. This looks like an interesting session. We can always tell it's going to be a popular session when we get people joining in well before the start time, so that's great. So today we have Dmitry, and he will be championing ChatGPT and automated building of docs. So today's session, what he'll be covering is how you can you can use ChatGPT with MkDocs to build documentation for your VC applications that you can then use in a similar format to the way Microsoft would have its documentation. And it will generate Markdown that you can then use GitHub to publish on your websites. So I think it's something that should interest everything, like test automation, like most of the processes we go through today. Getting documentation is now a critical part of VC that we never really cared too much about in Navision. So I'll hand over to Dmitry in a moment. I'll just do a bit of housekeeping. As I'm sure everyone knows, we have the basic rules. No microphones are available. If you have a question, put it in the question window. There is a window for the questions. I'll take the questions. If they're technical about the presentation, I'll try to answer them. Other questions, I will decide, is this something that we need to stop Dmitry for, in which case I'll interrupt. But for most of the questions, I'll hold them to the end of the session, and Dmitry will answer them at the end. I'll have a warning to Dmitry 15 minutes before the end to let everyone know, and we'll see what questions we're going to go through. So as you all know, I'm sure everybody knows we have the recordings on YouTube. This YouTube video will probably be 2 days late because Luke has to do that himself. I have to get it to him. It'll take a bit of time, but it will be up there. It just might take a couple of days. If you haven't register the newsletter. You'll get things in a bigger time. And we also have a list of the Areopa webinars on the new Areopa site. It's much simpler and cleaner now for those who haven't seen it. It's just these sessions and nothing else. So without anything more, I'll hand it over to Dmitry and he'll take over. Dmitry, I've just lost you, sorry. I'm going to hand this session to you as presenter. So
welcome to this webinar and thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to talk about documentation and how to build the documentation with tools like MkDocs and GitHub Pages and with the help of ChatGPT. It's actually not very typical topic for me, not very AI related, but anyway, when I built the CentralQ and published that to the app source in the beginning of the year, I had to build a documentation portal, and I never did something like that before. So I spent many time investigating the right tools that will suit me, and I think I found the one that I want to share with you. That's actually what we do. We learn and share, right? So my name is Dmitry. I'm MVP and a CentralQ creator. You can find me in Twitter and LinkedIn and at Dmitry Katson. So let's talk a little bit why documentation is important. I think many of us started our career in a NAV world, and we, to be honest, really spent very little time to the documentation if we actually spent if we actually did some documentation for our customizations at this point of time. But since we moved to the SaaS and cloud and app source, it's all started to be very important, because if we have good documentation, we have less inquiries from the users. The documentation starts to be a self-learning process for them. We are not really involved in the support. We can focus on development of our product instead of answering to the simple questions. That's the first thing. The second thing, we can create a very good experience for the user when we upgrade our apps. We can log all the new features, how they work, so the users can be notified on time when we release a new version of our app. And the last bullet point here is AI friendly, which means that now we live in a world when we create our documentation not only for humans but also for AI models. That could sound weird, but as a users, we also changed our behavior. Before we Google things, and when we Google things, we were pointed to the websites where we can read about something that we were looking for. However, now we, instead of Googling, start to asking questions to the copilots, and we expect copilots to answer our questions. The copilots need to find this information or learn this information before we ask our question. So that's why the good documentation is important to be available for the AI models as well, so they can answer on the user's questions. And also, I think I did some investigation through the app source, and I was very obsessed because among about 5,000 apps that we have currently on the app source, very few of them have good documentation. Many of them, instead of the documentation, upload just some marketing materials. And as a user of many of different app source apps, it's very difficult for me to start working with them because I want to just go, read, and start. That's why I decided to share this experience, how to create a good docs portal, as I think I did for my app. Yeah, so just we will have little slides here. Just one slide that we need to, I want to empower you to have good documentation. And I think I found good workflow that I want to share with you. And the tool that I'm using is called MkDocs. I'm not sure if you heard about that, but I found this tool is very easy to use. And let's see actually in my docs portal. So this is the docs portal that I built with the tool. And let's go directly to the CentralQ Chat topic here. And I have here like a main homepage, and I have like get started. I have here embedded some nice videos of how my product works. I have here like some key features, bullet points. On the right, I have table of context about this page. And on the left, I have all the pages that are related to my product. They can be in a flat design, or they can be expanded, in some subtopics. And this is public portal, and to build such experience, I use the tool that actually creates a repo for me in my Visual Studio Code environment. And I found this very important to have my docs files very near my code files. Because when I do write some code, I can also write documentation for the features in parallel or just after. So, and the files, the documentation I write, it's in a actually Markdown format. Not sure if you're familiar with the Markdown format, but at least if you work with a AL and you create some README files, you create them in the Markdown format. So, you see that it's a simple format. I have here embedded video, and the code for the video is actually it's not something that I created, because I use the Vimeo, for example, for my video storage, and I have here the nice embed action where just give me this code. I can just copy paste this code, and it works. So just a simple Markdown format. That's how to create my documentation. And to create a sorry, let's return back here. So to create this structured experience, how my pages are following and structured, here I use the YAML file, where I just describe, how my context is structured. So it's just a name, the intent, the name, and the point to my file. And that's it. So it's two things to remember: how to structure the context, how to create this documentation. And the first demo I wanted to show that I created recently in my CentralQ nice feature. So this feature is actually what it's doing. We can take the page scripting, and we can start the page description. And now I can go to, let's say, general ledger setup, and I can go then here and let's say I want to allow posting from the 1st of April, let's say. Then I stop this. I have this script. Then I can just copy link. So I will return back, and I will import this record link. What it will do now, so some magic happening behind the scenes, it will take the script and convert it to the user manual. And this user manual, you can then edit inside of the CentralQ Chat, or you can then export this. So I can go here. Oh, no, not this one, but this one. So this is my user instructions. 4 steps, right? Oh, we have 5. We can edit here if we would like. And let me close this. But then I can export this to Markdown, and this export to Markdown is my new feature. I trust myself. And this is, this is my Markdown. So, and then I can include this Markdown in my documentation. And I want to notify the users that I have a new feature. So I have this. I've prepared the text. Actually, I have this add page script. And I want to add a new section here. So I will just add a new section here. I got this code from the Vimeo. I just say describe how to use my feature. I save it, and now I just commit. Oh, sorry, I need to create a description for the commit, right? So before I do the push here, let's go to the here, the page scripting, and you see that I have export to Word and export to YAML. I want to add here in between. So I go here, I click on sync, and what's happening here right now, it's publishing into my GitHub repo. So I can look directly here, so my docs, and it run an action to publish my changes to the website. So it's all doing automatically. I just need to edit my documentation and commit and push, and it will take some minutes. Right, so it's done. No, not done. Let's see if we do have a change here. Yeah, not yet. So it's publishing. So let's continue, and I will return to this because it will take maybe 2 more minutes. So what do we need to start with the MkDocs? So as you saw, we need a Visual Studio Code, we need a Git to publish our changes, and we need a Python. However, I didn't show you anything or any of Python code, and we don't need a Python code itself. So what we need to install the Python, and because the MkDocs is a Python package, and we need it just to run some commands to create our repo and to test our repo locally. So let's see how to do this. So I will go now. By the way, it's done, and maybe we can check if it was uploaded here. Yeah, good. Now we have this export to Markdown new section available to my docskatson.com. So now everyone can see how to use my new feature. And I even have here this nice rendering of warnings and so on. But let's return back to the Python. So to install the Python, you need to go to python.org downloads. Then you download Python. Then you open this. And we should use install now action. However, just don't forget to mark this add Python to the path. It's actually very important. That's the only thing you need to do manually. So now we're installing the Python. It will take some time. Then we will download the MkDocs itself. It will take also some minutes to finish. Yeah, and also disable path length limit. That's the Windows thing. And yeah, so I think it clicked twice to this one. Yes. So Python was installed, and I need to return back to VS Code. Let's close this one. Let's close this one. And what I want to do, I want to go to my GitHub, and I will create a new repo. So I will create a new repo. My repo name will be, let's say, we're going to Mars. Let's make it public. Let's add README, and gitignore will be Python. Create repo. So our repo is created. Let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and we'll just clone, git clone this repo. Yeah, going to Mars. Let's save it here. Open in a new window. That's exactly what we needed. Now, let's ask Copilot how to start with MkDocs Material. I will talk a little bit later what's the difference between MkDocs and MkDocs Material. So we need first to install the Python. We already did that. Then we need to install the MkDocs. So to install the MkDocs, we need to run this in a terminal. So let's go here and install MkDocs. Let's see if we have Python here installed, because maybe we just need to reopen there. Let's see. Python wasn't found. Let's do this. Let's close and reopen then once again. Come on, what's happening with you? Going to Mars. Let's try once again. Yeah, now it's here. We need to do pip install MkDocs. Oops, not this, no, docs. I think like this. Yeah. So it's installing the package. And do we have here? Yeah, so we have a history here. And then we need to install the MkDocs Material, because I will show you in a minute the difference between them. So it's MkDocs Material is additional theme to the MkDocs that I'm using. So now what I need to create new project. So let's wait while it will download. while it's downloading, let's go to ChatGPT and say that, okay, I need, because it will also take some time, I need to create a guide how to go to Mars. I'm using MkDocs Material. Try to be short. Okay. It will do some job for us. For us, it's important that it will create some documentation for us in a Markdown format that we can just copy paste later. So let's return back here. We have MkDocs installed, and then we need to create a new project. So we create a new project with the MkDocs new and then dot. This will create a docs folder with the index file and MkDocs YAML for us. So it will be very simple, and index MD is also a template. So now what we should do, we need to start our server. So it will local server, and we just use MkDocs serve. Let's do this. So we should now go to this link, and this is our docs portal. Yes, it looks different on what I showed you before on my docs portal, but it's just a blank template. So what should we now? Now we should upgrade this. So, and the first thing that we need to do, maybe we should change the site name. It will be Mars Expedition. If I save this, it will automatically re-render this site, and now we have this Mars Expedition. All right. Then we should copy some things from my MkDocs. So let's say we start from this one, because I reserved some demos subsite for me, but still we are running locally. We will publish to this subdomain a little bit later. Then we will change a theme, and this is how you change a theme to MkDocs Material. So when we save this, our website start to look more familiar with this experience that I showed you before. I think it's much prettier, in my opinion. We have here now table of context, we have a main description, and we have here pages that we have in our website. Now, let's copy more things here. Now we will copy features. Why do we need these features? I will show you. So we'll copy these features, and maybe we will go to the index, and I will delete this. Welcome to Mars Expedition. Maybe we, so the first thing that I do with these Markdown files, I activate Copilot for them. I found it very useful to have Copilot on the Markdown files, but you see that my Copilot is not activated. And that's because it's by default. If I will search here for the Copilot, you see that Markdown are false, set to false. So I will activate my Copilot to the Markdown files. Yeah. And now I can write some documentation, and we will start with some code examples, for example. So let's say let's do some coding. It starts with these three guys, and we then can define the language. We can define AL, for example. We can do a message. Maybe we can do some procedure. Go Mars. Then begin and print. Yeah, Copilot did the finish line for me. So I can save this and let's see. And I have now this code. I have this, you notice that I have this copy to clipboard, and this is one of the features I activated here. So this is the feature like a content code copy, and there are many other features like to have a footer, to have indexes, tabs, and so on. So let's go and maybe add some extra things. So we can go and do I have here? I have here assets. So I can go and copy this folder. I can go here. So this is under the docs. So I will go here and paste. And inside of assets, I do have images, and I don't need these images here. But I do have this favicon and a logo. So I want to have a favicon and a logo in my website. So how should I do this? I can go and add this logo and favicon. Right. So let's see. Yeah, now I have my logo here. And then maybe I want to have a link to my home page. I can do this as well. Now I do have a link to my home page. And maybe I want to add some social icons to my website. So that will be that will add. You see this my Twitter, YouTube, and so on links. And here you have made with the MkDocs material for MkDocs. I can actually replace this with my I think where it was copyright here. So I will do and paste a copyright. And now I have my copyright, and I think where there were somewhere a feature to hide this made with MkDocs somewhere. Yeah, maybe, not sure. But I can go here and also change the palette. Now it's in a dark mode. And but I also want to highlight something in my code here. So how should I do this? Let's go back to my index, and I found that AL is actually not very well rendering here, but if I change this to Java, it should work. Let's go here and update, but it's not working. The problem here is that I need to add Markdown extensions. So together with the features for the MkDocs material, we do have a bunch of different Markdown extensions that will add more features to our website. We have a Markdown extensions, and if I now go here, updating moment. We should install some Markdown extensions here. Oh no, I think I put maybe in the wrong place. Let me check. Yeah, it's just before. No, it's not inside extra. It's here. It's also important how you paste this in a YAML file, because all intents are very important. So now let's go here. Yeah, now you see that we have our code be highlighted. I can even, what I can do, I can go here and I want to highlight some lines. So I can do HL highlight lines, let's say 1, 2, 3. And now my line is highlighted here. So, and there are many different opportunities here how you create your documentation. There is a nice portal here. It's actually a MkDocs Material website, which is built with the MkDocs Material, of course. And here you can get started and see how to get started, how to use plugins, how to create your website, how to structure, and so on, and even how to do some add some icons, smiles, and different stuff. Now let's go and try to add a new page here. Let's go here and in my YAML file, and I need to add a structure to my website. So I need to start with a navigation, and then there will be my home index MD. That's my index that I was there, and getting started with Mars. So I need to add a new file here, which should be called getting started. New file, getting started.md. And let's return back to the ChatGPT. So it created some instruction here, and we have here the copy button. If we use this button, it will copy everything in Markdown format for us. So we can just go and do some guide formatting. I want to go to Mars. We save this and let's see our code, our page. We have here now home page. We have here getting started with a Mars page. Great. So that's how you create it locally. Now we want to publish this to the GitHub and to potentially to our public domain. How should we do this? So we go to do this. We actually need to do some extra steps. The first step, we need to create this GitHub workflows and CI YAML file. So we will just copy here and paste here. So this YAML file is actually describes the actions to the GitHub. What should we do when we push the changes? So we should publish our changes to the website. I didn't write any of this code manually. I actually took this code from publishing your website documentation. So this is the YAML file. You can just copy paste it here. But this will not publish your file to the global domain. This will publish your site to the github.io domain. To publish on your custom domain, you need to add CNAME file here. So this is the CNAME file. I need to paste it here, and I will just change here to my subdomain that I registered for this demo. Now we can just commit these changes. Okay, let's do the description, commit, and then push. Let's now return back to GitHub and see what's happening here. So this is the actions, and you see it is running now. So it's been deployed. Oh, and let's see where it's been deployed. Deploy. Let's create a new. I don't remember. There was a link to the GitHub IO here, but I can't find it quickly here right now. But let's go back Let's go back to the repo, and we'll go to the settings. And under the settings, there will be pages, and we need to select here deploy from a branch, and we need to select this GitHub Pages branch. We save this. You see it sees my CNAME file, and it's checked my DNS. It works. By the way, to make it work, I had to go to my website and create a new CNAME, demoscatson.com. That point is to katson.com GitHub IO link. So let's go back to here, and I think that we are good to go. Yeah, I think let's try to go to demos and see what happens. Yeah, now we have our website published globally. We have this Getting to Mars, and now it's continuous, so we can change locally here, and we can do something like this info. Yeah, okay, so some text here. We go, we commit. We sync our changes. Then we go to pages. Let's see if we have this work and running. So it took about 2 minutes to publish this from your local environment to the public domain. We can even go locally to see our changes here, but our changes are not yet available globally. So let's see, it should be ready soon. So that's actually pretty easy. What I wanted to show you. Let's just double check that it all works fine. Yeah, now we have this new info. At the beginning of our guide, how to go to Mars. Great. So you saw how end-to-end process, how to start with an empty repo and how to finish with the published docs website that is available publicly. So thank you very much, and now it's time for your questions.
Yeah, Thomas Capitan had a question, which actually is very interesting to me too, because I'm on a path here of trying to sort my documentation out. So you've got me thinking a lot. And what Tom was asking is about MkDocs versus other options like Docusaurus, these sorts of things. So I'll just read his actual question. Hey, Dmitry, why have you decided to use MkDocs? Have you tried other solutions, for example, Docusaurus, etc.? I was looking for our documentation tool 3-4 months ago and used Docusaurus as I know for my past projects. But what other options are there, and what are the differences?
I tried some other options, but I found them less intuitive and more complex. I love the MkDocs for simplicity because I actually focus just on structuring my website, in a simple, YAML manner here. So I just need to do this, and then focus on the real documentation. Now we have these nice user instructions here, and we can just maybe do some formatting here, and do some other things. So very quickly, we can create instructions just from the page scripting, and then publish this directly to the website.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it is. It's very verbose, but it's very easy to create, isn't it? I mean, if you did this in Snagit or whatever, you'd have probably something nicer, but it would be a lot more work. This is really fast and simple, isn't it? Tom, does that answer your question? And are there any other questions? That's exactly what Tom wanted to know. That sounds good. So have you finished, Tom?
Yeah, so do we have any other questions?
No, it seems to be it. I don't think so. Unless I'm missing something, but no, it looks like you answered all the questions. That was the other questions were more technical, stuff like that. So I think we're good. So if there's no more questions.
Yeah, so
sorry?
I just want to recommend, if you're interested in this MkDocs thing, you can once again just go to their website and see all the possibilities, because they are really endless, and you need to get used to, but it really very quickly. Yeah.
I think it's you said. I think the most important part of the presentation, what you said right at the beginning, and for Navision, we would always add documentation and testing and project management as line items on the project, but the customer would say, "Oh, we don't need that," and it'd be a great way to cut the cost down dramatically. But in the BC world, it's not possible, because back then we build hours. And of course, no one in the BC world builds hours anymore. That's dinosaur stuff. So if you're billing monthly recurring revenue, you have to have documentation. Otherwise, you're going to have phone calls you can't bill for. So yeah, I think this is, whatever's happening, we have to do it, and we have to do it as efficiently as possible. And this looks like a great way of doing it. Documentation is mandatory now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's good. It's been there's a lot going on there. I'm going to have to watch the presentation again, actually. But yeah, it's got me thinking, because I definitely want to get some proper documentation working. I don't have anything right now, so this is good. Right, so there's no more questions. I'm going to take control again. Hang on. Why? Oh, I'm not a big fan of this thing. Make presenter. Where's my? Come on. Show my screen. Right. So thank you, everybody. I think we've gotten through quite a lot to go through here and digest. I just want to thank everybody for joining. I hope everyone will go to our site to have a look at what is out there, what's happening. I really want to say a big thank you to 4Nav. They really do help us a lot to make these webinars. I mean, I know you can always make your own webinars and presentations on YouTube, but when you're trying to get a whole thing together like Areopa is doing, we do need a sponsor, and they really help us out to make this work well. So big thank you to 4Nav. And just keep in mind that, yeah, there's a lot of tools out there for writing business reports. You've got Power BI, you've got Jet reports, you've got a lot of stuff. But if you want to write a document, if you want to send an invoice to a customer, 4Nav is still really the only non-native solution out there, and definitely worth having a look at. So thank you to 4Nav. And yeah, so that's about it. We'll keep in touch. Let everyone keep and let us know what's happening next. Follow the rest of our sessions, and thank you very much, everybody.